On this day, I see clearly it's finally time to do top 10 neat things Edge has done. Let's do it, Steve.
Oh, that's neat. What do you have so far?
Usual stuff. First Money in the Bank winner. First Money in the Bank cash in. Live sex celebration.
Boring. That's all dumb stuff. Everybody knows all that stuff. We got to come up with something new.
Boring. I just had a great career, man.
How about this? Edge invented the deep fake.
Deep fake?
You know those cool videos like where it has like Stallone, but he's Terminator? Edge did that. You think you know me. Dun, 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 dun. But then he's Bret Hart now. And it's a deep fake.
You know, maybe we should have stick to things he's actually done.
What does that matter? People don't do their research these days. Fake news is all the rage. How about this? Edge invented fake news.
All right, well, I'm just going to do my own research and you just do what you're doing. How about that?
How about this? Edge was Spider-Man, number 13. Hey friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
So we've long teased it, joked about it, but with all the rumblings that the rated R superstar Edge may be on the brink of an in-ring return, which could have actually happened by the time you're watching this, we figured what better time to celebrate his legacy than right now.
So let's close out this season of 10 for the win with the top 10 neat things Edge has done.
Number 10.
The Competitive Edge! The list of people to have won King of the Ring, Money in the Bank, and the Royal Rumble, WWE's most popular multi-man events, not named Brawl for All, is very short.
It is. We're talking Sheamus, Brock Lesnar, and Edge are the only men to win all three, and Edge completed the trifecta before any of them.
Now all we need is for Vince to bring back the Brawl for All, and Edge can come in and win that and be the only man to win all four events. Larson?
I don't know, man. Edge is pretty old and he doesn't have any real fight background.
Yeah, neither did Dr. Death, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, Brawl for All basically ended his career.
Yeah, no, wait, no. That's probably not a good idea then for Edge
It's a terrible idea.
to do that.
Number 9.
Knife Edge Slap! One of Edge's biggest rivalries, of course, was with John Cena. The leader of C Nation and the rated R superstar crossed paths plenty of times during their careers, so of course at some point, lines would be crossed and limits would be taken too.
All right, Edge definitely crossed the line on the August 14th, 2006 episode of Raw when Edge goes to John Cena's family's house and takes a tour, stopping in the end to slap the shit out of Cena's dad.
That's right. According to former WWE writer Brian Gewirtz, during an appearance on the Edge and Christian podcast, Cena's dad was prone to bouts of improv, a fact Cena warned the producers about in advance. The guy felt he had to get his lines in, even though the script called for him to sit there silently, no lines, and just take Edge and Lita's verbal abuse.
Vince allegedly told Gewirtz and the other writers that the footage was some of the cringiest he had ever seen. In the end, they had Edge narrate the whole thing from the ring, so you don't get to hear how bad it is. All we see is Edge, pow! Slap Mr. Cena and walk out.
Yeah, so maybe Edge could have won Brawl for All Larson, but only if John Cena's dad was his sole opponent.
Number 8.
The Edge of Tomorrow! If rumor and innuendo is to be believed, Edge has somehow, some way been cleared to return to the ring soon, even if Edge is currently denying it up and down on Twitter. Time will tell, and maybe by the time you're watching this, Edge has made his return at the Rumble or Wrestlemania, and you can add that moment to this list.
But because we've elected to do this list before his potential return, we could talk about the neat thing Edge did most recently, and that's simply to have given us all hope that we see him wrestle again thanks to a spear on Elias at SummerSlam 2019.
Yeah, on one hand, it was simply a spear, but on the other, any wrestling move for Edge is kind of a big deal these days, given the severity of his career-ending spine injury. As he's told it, one bad bump could paralyze the guy. Given that he was cleared to do anything in the ring, it gives us hope that it's all been fixed and he can return to like maybe a Brock or Taker schedule.
I can't think of anything neater than seeing Edge back in the ring.
Yeah, how about the time he suckered Mr. Kennedy into putting up his Money in the Bank briefcase and won it?
Yeah, I like that too. Let's do that one next.
Very neat thing.
Number 7.
The Mental Edge! So, Mr. Kennedy's star was fast on the rise in 2007, so much so that WWE had him win Money in the Bank at that year's Mania, and quickly had him declare that he'd cash in his contract in the main event at the following WrestleMania. They even had him count down the days till his cash-in during his promos. It was kind of an interesting take on the Money in the Bank cash-in that we haven't really seen since.
No, but we should, because that is a good take.
It is, yeah.
I like it. Unfortunately for Mr. Kennedy, he wouldn't hold on to his briefcase long enough to fulfill his WrestleMania dream because the ultimate opportunist, that's Edge by the way, swooped in and tricked Mr. Kennedy into putting up his briefcase during the May 7th, 2007 episode of Raw, and then proceeded to basically squash him en route to winning the briefcase.
Yeah, as Kennedy would later tell it, The Undertaker, who was the World Heavyweight Champion at the time, was hurt and needed surgery, and the plan was for him to cash in on the dead man. But right before that was supposed to happen, he was diagnosed with a torn triceps, which would have put him out of action for 8 months. So Edge got to do all that cool stuff instead.
And you can see the utter disappointment and dare I say humiliation on the face of Kennedy when Edge suckers him into putting up his briefcase. And it turns out it didn't even need to happen. Kennedy has said when he was prepping for surgery, he was informed that there was no tear, just a hematoma on his triceps meat, which only kept him out for 1 month.
So basically, Kennedy had to drop the briefcase because he had a bruise.
Kind of.
That's got to be the lamest injury any wrestler has suffered that took them out of a main event scene. I kind of feel bad for the guy, honestly.
He's doing okay for himself. He's in the NWA right now.
Yeah, no, he seems happy, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Number 6.
Tables, ladders, Edge. There are certain match types that become synonymous with a particular wrestler. For example, you'd probably consider The Undertaker Mr. Hell in a Cell, because he's been in so damn many of them.
And the same can be said for Edge in tables, ladders, and chairs matches. He and Christian's battles with the Hardys and the Dudleys put that particular gimmick match on the map, but he continued to dominate TLC matches during his singles career all the way up to his final World Heavyweight Championship victory at TLC 2010.
Yeah, no doubt the grueling nature of those matches took a toll on Edge's body because he was forced to retire after successfully retaining the big gold belt at Mania 27 against Alberto Del Rio.
Remember when you were a huge Del Rio fan?
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, you were super disappointed when Edge beat him at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I always wanted secretly to be a rich Mexican aristocrat, Larson. And plus, I was disappointed that Del Rio's car got busted up after that match. Like, Edge won. Why would he and Christian have to then destroy the gorgeous Rolls Royce?
I don't know. They should have put it in one of those trash compactor things that turn giant cars into small little cubes.
Have you ever seen video of that happen?
Yeah.
It's really satisfying.
Yeah, how they do that? How they take such a big car, massive car, and then
well,
make it such a small
cube. It retains the same mass. The density grows larger.
It's like a vehicular black hole.
Yeah, right? Because it's just tiny, a tiny cube.
But it weighs the same as a huge car.
A little tiny cube.
It's something else, man. Technology is something else.
Yeah, man. Xenobots.
Number 5.
Hardcore Edge! Hot off the heels of his shoot-inspired feud with Matt Hardy, 2006 was all about making Edge a massive heel and a massive star. We'll get to maybe his crowning achievement of the year a bit later, but in between his WWE title victories that year, he got into a program with Mick Foley, which culminated in one of WWE's better hardcore matches ever at WrestleMania 22.
Edge, who obviously was no stranger to doing crazy shit in the ring, held his own against the hardcore icon and finished the match by spearing Foley off the apron and through a blazing table, creating one of the most insane and iconic WrestleMania moments ever.
Man, what a year Edge had in 2006.
Yeah.
Made live sex on TV,
Yeah.
speared Foley onto fire table,
Yeah.
won a bunch of belts.
Oh, let's get to that right now.
Cool, we get to talk about live sex on TV now?
No, that you gotta wait for.
Ah, man, you suck.
Just wait for it.
You're not a neat thing.
You gotta build the. Hey, I'm a neat thing. I'm neat.
Did I cross a line there?
You did.
Saying you
How
weren't
dare
neat?
you not call me neat?
Sorry.
Number 4.
The winning Edge! All told, Edge has won 31 WWE titles in his career, making him the most decorated champion of all time in the company, assuming you take gimmick titles like the 24/7 Championship and the Hardcore title out of the equation.
Edge's championship accolades include a record 7 World Heavyweight Championship reigns, 4 WWE title reigns, 5 Intercontinental Championship reigns, 1 US title reign, and 14 Tag Team Championship reigns. That's a lot.
That's a lot of gold, man.
a lot, man.
And it speaks to his versatility as a performer, Larson. One thing Edge was great at was reinvention. From Matrix-type streetwalker guy to goth vampire guy to comedy 5-second posing guy to sex maniac, Edge had no problem keeping his character fresh.
I prefer his time as guy who does crazy shit off ladders guy.
All right, fine. Let's just talk about that then.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Number 3.
High Spot Edge! Fun fact about you, Larson. You attended WrestleMania 2000, which featured the first of the big TLC-type ladder matches with the Hardys, Edge, and Christian, and the Dudleys.
Correct. That was the only good part of an otherwise lame WrestleMania, and while that match had its fair share of great spots, the following Mania had one of the most iconic high spots ever, Edge spearing a dangling Jeff Hardy from like 15 feet in the air.
Yeah, the match was incredible, but the best part came when Jeff Hardy climbed up the ladder, grabbed onto the tag titles, but lost the ladder and couldn't unbutton the titles to secure the win. They didn't have Velcro back then.
They did
Which
not.
would have been a lot easier. Just
Much easier.
You know? Anyway, so he's just dangling there.
Yeah, then Edge climbs up one of those super tall ladders, launches himself at Jeff, and they both come boom crashing down to the canvas. Absolutely insane spot, replayed hundreds of times whenever a big TLC or ladder match is about to go down. And I think it's in the Then Now Forever package before WWE shows too.
Yeah, I think it is, man. My back hurts just watching that spot, though.
Because you're old.
Yeah, it's mainly because I'm old. Fuck, see, my hip just made a noise, man.
No, you just farted.
Yeah, I did. You're gonna have to smell that one. It's kind of neat that time you had to smell my fart just now.
Number 2.
Edge in the Bank! The very first Money in the Bank cash-in was also probably maybe the best, arguably the best, we'll say that, because for one thing, no one really figured out at that point the cash-in could be used in a really cool, opportune situation, such as after a brutal, bloody match has already taken place. People probably just figured that's a briefcase, has a boring contract in it, they'll do a table contract signing
Let's take
thing.
this to the boardroom and figure this all out.
Exactly.
Such was the genius of the Money in the Bank briefcase and the precedent Edge established by cashing in on a battered John Cena after the finish of an absolutely brutal Elimination Chamber bout at New Year's Revolution 2006.
Of course, leave it to Vince to nerd it up by coming out and explaining to people, hey everybody, this night isn't over, we have one more match! And Edge goes down, spears Cena the next Tuesday, and claims his first WWE World title. It was such a shocking, unpredictable moment. And yeah, it was probably the best cash-in of them all, although, come on now, Seth Rollins' Mania 31 cash-in is high up there as well. We were there.
Yeah.
But Rollins' cash-in, Larson, did not lead to people having live sex on TV.
All right, let's just get to it.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Live Edge sex! It's about goddamn time I get to talk about this, Larson. With the exception of the time Triple H had sex with a dead body on camera,
Ew.
I don't think there's ever been a segment on WWE TV where two people have shoot sex live on camera. At least I'd like to think it was shoot sex. Until Edge and Lita came along and brought their gimmick of hot fuck action to the Max couple to Raw in a live sexual celebration.
Yeah, what's great about the segment is just how hilariously cheesy and awkward it is.
Yeah.
Edge with his skinny non-butt and quarter boner. Lita with her nipple popping out from under the covers for the East Coast crowd. There's really nothing actually sexy about this, although unsurprisingly, it did pop ratings huge for that particular week.
All those people sitting there, I want to see sex. Anyways, it's all the better because one day Edge is going to have to explain to his kids why he main evented a Raw episode having sex with not Beth Phoenix, their mom.
You can just tell them, well, we had to set up a brutal TLC match with Ric Flair for the following week, and what better way to do that than with the one thing Ric Flair knows more than anyone else about, doing the sex.
Yeah, we should do an episode about all the neat things Ric Flair did. At least half of those entries would probably involve sex, or his penis, or both. Space Mountain, whatever.
Yeah, Space Mountain, woo.
Anyways, there you go. There are the top neat things Edge has done. Let us know some of your favorite Edge moments in the comments below, and be sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe and the notify bell and all. Let's try to get this episode up to 1,000 likes, Larson.
Good to me.
And that's it for this season of 10 for the Win. But hey, we'll be back in like a month or so with more new episodes, so be sure to check us out then. It'll be pretty neat if you do.
Yeah, it'd be really neat.
You think you know us? We'll find out more in a month.